COCO, you are live on the air. We are live
Are we
on
for
the
real?
air. Yes,
You
we are
serious?
live. We here, baby. We here.
I mean,
we
we
here.
right. Hey, y'all, how you doing? What's up? What's going on? Happy Tuesday. If you on that part of the world, maybe Wednesday, maybe Monday. I don't know. But you listen to Lavish and COCO podcast, and we are having an amazing, amazing day. Good afternoon, Mr. Lavish.
Good afternoon, COCO. How are you doing today?
I'm well. You sound like I'm in trouble. So your name is Lavish T. Williams, and today, based on our show, T stands for toking, as in smoking, as in partaking, as in CBD, DDD, DDD, DDD. So we got an amazing guest with us today, and we just want to let you know this. So like us and share us. That's so important for us. Like us and share us. Tell your friends. We know we got some folks that's watching us do the lunch hour. So we got a whole lunch hour crew that DM me and they say they watch us during their lunch hour, but they can only listen because they supposed to be working on something else. I say, well, wait a minute now. You working, but you listening to the podcast. Keep listening to the podcast.
We helping with their day.
Listen, some of them working remotely. Some of the people that send me a DM say they working remotely from their home and they doing that. And then some people said they in another setting, but they listening. So you got a corporate earbud in your ear, and then you got the one listening to the show. I love it. Make sure you listen to Lavish and COCO. We got an amazing show today, and we always got great subject matter and all that stuff like that. So today, like I said, T stands for toking, as in smoking or whatever. So Lavish, we got to give them the...
Yeah, we got to give them all that cool stuff, man.
We got to give them the drum roll. Give them the drum roll.
I ain't got the drum roll.
What you got? What you got? Show me what
Nothing.
you got.
However, no, I ain't got all that.
What you got?
I ain't got all that. I got the applause.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, we ain't introduced them yet.
I know, but I need applause for myself. Sometimes you got to make yourself proud.
Okay, let's give a warm round of applause to COCO.
I feel like I feel good now.
Okay.
Now we can move on. So we have an amazing guest, and the wonderful thing about our show is we could take our show on the road.
We can take it on the road. We can pull up on you.
We pull up on me. So when y'all see Lavish riding around the city or wherever you may see him doing this thing, and you see that tow truck, it ain't always about cars. Sometimes we pulling up on somebody. We had the opportunity to pull up on this amazing brother, and we pulled up on him and got some great stuff. So ladies and gentlemen, Lavish, introduce our guest. It's a man thing.
Oh, man, it's a man thing. Listen, we are going to talk about the cannabis industry. Mm. And today we have one of the owners of one of the local cannabis supply places, the Clinic Cannabis, and some other businesses that I'll let him speak on. We got Jason. Well, actually, I was going to say we got Jason in the building, but we're in Jason's building.
Jason's building.
So, Jason, we welcome you. Welcome you. Everybody, welcome Jason.
I love it. I love it. So, Jason, first of all, thank you for letting us come over and do the show here live. Thank you for everything and opening up your campus, because I like the word. Your partner said the word is campus. And when I think about it, I'm like, you know what? That's exactly what it is. So, Jason, tell people who you are and your role that you play in the whole cannabis industry, if you will.
Thank you, COCO. My name is Jason Thwaney. I own a company called Ocana out in Detroit. We, chose Detroit because it's our home. We've always loved Detroit. We're proud of Detroit, our roots, where we come from, and we work very hard on, being in Detroit and having our foundation here. It was very important to us as a company, so we could be a bright spot for Detroit. That's how we look at our company. And I started back in 2008 as a caregiver. And I think it was the end of 2014, beginning of 2015, I got my first dispensary out in Tyerman. And it was called Green Guys. I was partners with my brother there. And then I got another dispensary in 8 Mile. Okay. And that's where that was fun because we get to swim with the sharks there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that was in 2015, and we were I would say maybe one of the first 10 dispensaries on 8 Mile, maybe.
Wow.
And it was a great ride until like 2017, and then we got our cease and desist from the city of Detroit. They said we didn't qualify to be a dispensary, and then right, was it 2017? Yeah.
Wow.
2017, and then we kind of proved them wrong later.
Okay.
We got approved in 2021. We got the dispensary open, and in 2019, we got approved for Ocana campus, the little campus, and that's what we call it because we do so much there.
You do,
And
absolutely.
2019, we got approved December 2019, I think it was, and then right when we started construction in February, COVID hit, and everybody had to go home. That's when we built our company.
Wow. So you took the fact that the whole world has shut down and say, you know what, we can still build and put this whole concept together.
We went to work.
Got busy.
We didn't know no other way.
I like it.
We just started building it, and it wasn't easy because people were scared. The city was they're a great city. I love Detroit,
right.
But it was a little difficult.
Of course,
permits, doing this. The world had changed, but it seemed like every day for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Jason, I got to ask you a question because when we talk about cannabis, THC, marijuana, the whole everything, there is still a isolated population that when you mention it, it brings up this whole dark side to what we once knew as we would go to the smoke shop. I'm about 20 minutes older than you, so we went to the smoke shops and we would get our records from the smoke shop and different stuff like that. But what's so interesting is it took me forever to realize that the people that were going in the back rooms of the smoke shop were going in the back room to get marijuana. So when you thought about marijuana, we all knew somebody growing up that used it or smoked it, and we knew where they kept it, and they would get the seeds out of on the album cover, or they put it inside a shoebox or whatever. So we now demystify that whole thing, and cannabis is now used for medicinal purposes and sleep purposes, and for people with arthritis, and there are people that are dealing with MS and different ailments that actually use the cannabis. So let's talk about what made you say this is, because you're a business person, but what made you say this is the business that I want to be a part of? Because I'm sure you had options.
When cannabis legalization came in, in my community, a lot of us were smoking cannabis.
Okay.
I was smoking.
Talk to the mic.
I was smoking maybe.
Okay.
As I was smoking, I wasn't a heavy smoker, but I was smoking occasionally.
Okay.
I was a casual smoker. It was expensive back then because it was so illegal. You could have got caught with an ounce.
Yeah.
You were gonna go to jail. So when they started making it legal, I said, I'm gonna get a card. I can have 2.5 ounces with me. I said,
Okay.
I don't want to get in trouble for no reason.
Right,
for
right.
something that
Right.
I wanted to smoke. So we just started. I started there, and I am an entrepreneur at heart. So
Okay.
I said, man, I'm gonna grow my own, and I'm gonna have some patience.
Wow.
I wanted it to be compassionate, and it started off as just that, just a
Okay.
small, and as the laws said, hey, I can grow 72 plants. I can do this. I just started doing math, and I was like, man, I can make some money doing this if I learn how to do it right. And I did the math.
Okay. And it made sense.
And it made sense. I
Okay.
was like, man, this is really good business if I did it right. It's also 90% of the guys, they don't do it right. So it wasn't an easy thing. And back then we were like scared to even, when I used to go to the hydro stores, I used to have to go in and be like, I'm growing some tomatoes. And
So wait. So you couldn't say what you were actually growing. So you had to grow in, yeah.
Oh, because I knew they would snitch. Those are the guys that would, so in the beginning, everybody was secretive. You would have to really, they knew what I was talking about.
Right.
But none of us were allowed to talk about it because if I'm talking about a crime with them, they got to report me.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
okay.
Or they can be liable because I'm about to commit a crime. Even in the time, it wasn't really a crime. I had a card, but it didn't matter. Back then, if you did it, you were going to get, they were going to get you.
So it's interesting that you say that, because when you said that, I went back. I had a one of my good friends. I could say this now. She had a huge backyard, and she grew plants in her garden, but on the back. So on a good day when the wind was blowing, you could smell it, but you couldn't see it. However, she did it. And she like a Mother Nature green thumb. But however, she surrounded the plants with other vegetables and stuff. So when you say that, I'm thinking about, that was a crime. So when you got into growing, so before you got into the industry, what did you do? And it sort of helped you doing what you did before you got into the industry.
I started working for my dad at like 9. That was like our hangout time because he was a liquor store owner.
Okay.
And immigrant. And like, if you wanted to hang out with your dad, you had to go to work.
And go to work, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. At 17, I started my first landscape company.
Wow.
It was called Customer Service Lawn Care and Landscaping. That was the first name. I switched it to my last name after.
Okay.
Because I wanted to brand myself. I knew I could brand myself better. And but I started that company when I was 17. I sold it 3 years ago. I'm 40 today. So,
wow.
Oh, so you had the company for quite some time. It wasn't something that you started as a child, a younger man, and just kind of let it deteriorate. It was something that you kept going. Okay.
It's one of my, I'm very proud of that. Because I had to play with mud. I had to play at the bottom.
Okay. You got to get it from the mud. It starts from the bottom.
Always. But it taught me the game. It taught me like how to make money, how to work, how to go to work every day. I plowed snow. I did this. Whatever I had to do to make money, I did, and I could say like I really excelled in that space of lawn care and landscape, and I excelled. But when the economy was going down in 2008 and 9, it was like all landscaping went down. This and all these things. It was really difficult as an entrepreneur, and I just said, man, I'm going to start learning how to grow some marijuana. Like it came to me, and then I learned, and man, it took over my life. Like I love the plant. I love the power of the plant, what it could do.
Okay.
Overall.
Okay. Well, I mean, before we go any further, and we talking about the plant, and we talking about growing and everything.
Who are we?
Who are we?
Yeah.
We some hell of a people. However,
we lavish in COCO.
Yeah, we lavish in COCO. But what I want to say to the people while we talking about plants and we talking about growing, I think now, COCO, I want to go into showing them the plant room from what we seen last week when when Jason allowed us to come into his business, his operation. A place where many people will never be able to go.
Yes.
But we were fortunate enough to go back there to get a behind the scenes look. And I'm going to play this clip real quick so you guys can see what we seen, and he can talk about the product and what we're showing you in the video.
The breakdown after every harvest, we break down and we clean up all the rooms. We disinfect them, we clean them, we make sure everything is just, we want it basically medical skill, doctor skill. Like if this was a lab, we want to have the same approach as you would in a lab. You know, you're making medicine. Right now, these are in veg. In about 14 days, we'll flip them over into flower. This is one of the country's first artificial intelligent, technologically savvy facilities. Everything in this room is artificial intelligence, AI cultivated. Yeah, so there's computers, sensors reading everything out to us, and they're just giving us our read and react, and basically give me a daily log of everything that's going on down to the minute.
I mean, me myself, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
Not in person.
Most people and most people have it. Like that takes away the whole. So we have to demystify stuff for people to understand what's going on. Because as long as it's like this dark secret behind anything, people always gonna feed on conspiracy theories. So when we came over to your campus and you took us behind the scenes and showed us how everything is ran and how it is a business and it's not the way people think it is. And we listen, we do have the darker side of everything. So let's say that. But seeing that part and how everything, you talked about artificial intelligence, how everything is literally sterilized and cleaned up, and it ain't no residue left or whatever for the next shipment or the next whatever to come in, and then how everything is fertilized and watered and all that. It's really amazing.
It is. I mean,
it's amazing.
We got to walk in this place, and man, just to see the operation, how it's grown, the care, what's all involved and entailed with this, man. It's like, I don't think the public outside of the news, they see it. All they do is see the finished product. And if the finished product looks that good to the smokers, just imagine how good it looks when you see it in these labs and these factories and it being manufactured or whatnot. So I thought it was great.
It was a few things for me, Lavish, that stood out. So you're listening to Lavish and COCO podcast. Like us and share us. And if you only watch a little bit now, go back and watch the rest later. We on Facebook, we on YouTube and all that stuff like that. Make sure you check us out. We talking to my man, Jason, and we're talking about, again, on your memories. We talking about all of that stuff, smoke every day. We talking about all of that. But it's more to it than that because they gave me a ointment to use, and it's used for if you got arthritis, pain, and stuff like that. And I went home and I did just what I was told to do, right? Took my shower and then blotted the area dry, and I took some and I rubbed it on my knee, right? Baby, listen. I wasn't high, but that little tender knee pain, that little was gone, and I felt wonderful. So the marijuana plant itself can be used to do so many things. Because we talked about people that have MS.
Yeah.
Or people that may have, you may be a person that's receiving chemo and you may have an issue with your appetite. There are people that use the edibles to stimulate the appetite. So let's talk about that, Jason, how people use it as not just recreationally, but the medicinal purposes of it. Let's talk about that.
So medicinally, we can start as we're infants, right? When your mother's breastfeeding you, and that breast milk has cannabinoids in it that are coming from the mother's endocannabinoid system.
Okay.
And the reason why cannabis works in different forms, in different ways, is we have in our bodies, we are all born with an endocannabinoid system. And that was discovered by this Israeli doctor.
I mean, that's a big word.
Endocannabinoid.
Whatever you just said, man. It's a big word. I got to sound that out after the show.
Don't ask me to spell it. But, in our bodies, just like our bodies produce hormones, testosterone, they produce these naturally.
Okay.
Once they've realized marijuana was delivering cannabinoids to your body, that's when they started making it legal throughout the world. And started finding the medicinal value in it. And, marijuana was made illegal because I forget the year. They started some marketing. I forget the name of the marketing, but it was because of the Hispanics crossing over. into California, and that's where the name marijuana comes from. It comes from that
Mexico, yeah.
Mexico, and they realized that if they made it illegal back then, that it's just going to create a whole incubator, a whole system of control and this and that, and that's what it has done, making it illegal. So, but a lot of people are forgetting that it's only been decriminalized. It hasn't been legalized.
Right.
So
say that again, please. Please say that 2 more times. That has only been
decriminalized.
Yes.
Not legalized.
Okay.
So, you can still get in trouble for having cannabis. You can still go to jail for having cannabis. You can still get discriminated against for having cannabis. It's still not accepted everywhere. It could also be abused. And is that me?
Yeah.
Oh,
just a little bit.
yeah. We'll switch that.
Okay.
There we go. So it hasn't been legalized, and that's
right.
a fight that it's going to be happening. It's there's Biden a few weeks ago came out and said they're going to release all federal prisoners that it was like something that didn't even exist. Like nobody's ever been to jail for that. Maybe like
because we talked about that.
Yeah. So they're given this false narrative that they're looking to do something, and that's just. It's getting close to voting time and things like that. So there's a lot of things that people do that don't mean what they're going to do.
Okay.
So we all got to be careful. But it's definitely a medicine. It definitely has a lot of healing agents to it, a lot of different ways of delivery, that how you can get it. So you can smoke it.
Yeah, let's talk about this. So listen, y'all listening to Lavish and COCO, we really want y'all to tap in, make sure you like it and share it or whatever, because Jason opened up his entire campus to us. And I have to say this, Jason, I've been a lot of places. I've been on in a lot of work settings or whatever, and everybody, and I know people gonna say, well, of course, it's marijuana involved, but everybody was so pleasant.
Yeah.
Now, I know the marijuana was involved or whatever, but everybody was pleasant and welcoming and nice and all that stuff like that. It almost didn't seem, I knew it was work going on and everybody had the different things that they were doing, but they looked like they were enjoying being at work. And I know people like, of course it's weed, but even with that, they looked like they was having a good time.
It's the culture that we're trying to build.
Okay.
Like I said, our foundation where it's at. We hope when you look at marijuana, you think of Cannabis, and when you think of Cannabis, you think of Detroit. Or when you think of Canna brands and anything we produce, you think of Detroit first, right?
Okay.
So when we're building our company and we're trying to build a great place to work at, we want people to understand that that's in Detroit, and that's what this city is going to produce. And that's why you've seen what my staff is, who
Amazing.
they are. What they look like.
And might I add, with the staff, it's multiracial.
Yeah.
There, it was all types of different races that was working there. Did that just happen, or were you going for that, or how did that happen?
It's where we're at. We wanted to hire. We wanted to hire people from where we're at. We wanted to hire people from Detroit. If we could hire from our neighborhood, we would also. We just put it out there like we try to find the best and brightest. Everybody who's in their position has earned their position. We don't give people position because of the way they look, the way they talk, the way they are. You're gonna get your position because of the value you bring and the work ethic you're gonna come in with.
Okay.
We don't hand anybody anything.
I like that. And they knew their stuff. So let me say this, because I know it's always this group of people. Listen, before you try anything outside of the scope of what you consider normal medical practices, please consult with your primary physician. We gotta say that because I don't want nobody lay on COCO. When I had a so-and-so and I thought I was Michael Jackson, I kept doing the splits in the middle of the street. Listen, that ain't what we said. So we just offering that disclaimer. But Jason, listen, right here we got all the goods. Like, not all of them, but let's talk about this in that little green box right there.
So
Hold on.
Hold on. What?
If you're gonna talk about that little green box.
Uh-huh.
I got a clip for that too.
You got a clip?
So he can explain that, man. So we about to go ahead and do it. So y'all watch this clip as he explain it when we get.
So we got, these are Toker's Choice. These are terpene infused pre-rolls. We're the first people, I believe, in the United States to put THC in a carton of cigarettes. So it looks like it's tobacco, you know, like how traditional cigarettes were. So when we were younger and we used to smoke, we used to always want to, you know, we used to say, I can't wait till they sell these like cigarettes one day. So we brought that to the table, innovated in Detroit. You know, these are some of the special things that we get to do in Detroit that nobody else does. Nobody else put, you know, these in a pack of cigarettes. We're the first people to do that, and honestly, it's probably one of the best business moves I ever made. We crushed it with this one right here. We probably sell, we don't have the exact data of everybody, but we're pretty sure that we sell more pre-rolls than anybody in Michigan. That's out of here in Detroit.
Wow. So we sitting here with them.
Yeah, you got the pre-rolls right there.
You got the pre-rolls. Where they go?
Oh, they're right here.
Yes.
So there's two different kinds.
Okay.
All right.
So J's are top shelf premium flower.
Okay.
Those are hand selected by people that I smoke with.
Okay.
That are trained. It's got to be. It's like you know, a Neiman Marcus buyer. You know, so my guys, when they go out, they taste test everything. They pick it right off the vine. That's how we pick the flowers for this. Toker's Choice, we did something different. We wanted to be economically friendly.
Okay.
And we wanted to bring like flavors. And you know, me and my partner, our backgrounds, like, you know, we used to work at our liquor stores. We used to this. We just understand CPG really well.
Okay.
You know, and understanding, you know, consumer packaging goods.
Right.
Understanding what people want. When we went to create everybody's creating a pre-roll line. Mm-hmm. Everybody, no matter what. If you're in this cannabis space, most people don't want to roll anymore. So when we were coming out, I'm designing this nice box. You know, my partner's like, "Man, what do you want to do with this one day?" And I was like, he said, "You want to sell it?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let's build it for Philip Morris." And he goes, "Let's put it like this." And I was like, "Man, actually, that's a great idea." So literally, we looked it up. Like nobody was doing it in the country, and we're like, "Man, nobody's done this yet." So he's like, "All right, let's go ahead." And I had the machinery. We went, got some of the best machinery in the country, in the world. I mean, we got it from Korea, and we were some of the first people to get that machinery. Also, there might have been 8 of them in the whole world at the time, and they took a chance on us. And they're like, I told them what we were going to do, and we came out like Barry Bonds, man. We hit a home run.
So let me tell you what's funny. So when I was younger, I used to smoke a lot. Let me just listen. So you remember, listen, y'all ain't gonna tell my story. I could tell my story. I used to smoke a lot, but I could not roll.
Yeah.
Man, listen. They would hand me, they'd be like, don't give that to her. She gonna mess it up. I'm talking about it would be the pregnant joint and all of that. And then when they switched from that to blunt, I said, no, we ain't finna do that. So for the people that can't roll, or the men or the women that can't roll or whatever, it's a go-to. You ain't gotta roll, you ain't gotta have it in your lap, you ain't gotta do all that. Go in, buy it, and you good to go. So I appreciate that.
They're dangerously convenient.
Yeah.
Okay. They convenient. So right now in the country, right, dangerous. So right now in the country, have other people adopted and followed with the package?
We personally just got another deal in Montana. So, you know, the next market we're dropping in is in Montana. That's about 40 days away. Okay. And other companies have copied.
Okay.
But, just because they're duplicating me can't mean they, you know, they can't.
You the original right now. You the top of pushing this line, this brand.
You know, sometimes when we talk about innovation, like we didn't invent the pack. Like, you know, I don't know who did Newports, Cools,
right.
I don't know who invented the pack, but in cannabis, it's anything that is in the real world at a supermarket can eventually have some type of cannabinoid in it. You know?
Okay.
So a lot of us look and they're always trying to recreate the wheel. And we don't want to recreate the wheel. We just wanted to put a different tread on the tire. And that's all we did. And like I said, I don't know if we were the first, but we might have been one of the first in the country. No more than 2 other companies. I can't. Nobody knows, but I can tell you in metric, we were probably the first sales in the United States.
So you know what I like about this Lavish, and I know you've never smoked or drank or whatever. For people that smoke, one of your concerns is you may know your crew, but when somebody else got to put their saliva on it and roll it, you like,
yeah.
Especially coming out of the pandemic.
So with me, I never was into it. You know, it just wasn't my thing. And then when I seen that people roll it up and they gotta lick it and all that, that wasn't really for me, because I'm not putting my mouth behind nobody.
Just to make you laugh, there was a company during the pandemic in the state of Michigan that got caught like licking theirs, and it was. It was
wait
terrible.
A minute.
Yeah, so those are put on there.
No,
just to
sir.
remind
Wait.
people that we don't.
Stop the car. Stop the car.
Man, it was terrible.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. I couldn't do that.
So I that's for that reason alone, and then for women, you know. Am I hearing music or am I tripping?
You just gotta ignore it, COCO.
I know, but I thought I was having a moment. I'm like, I'm kind of close to this. Maybe, you know. So, but for women, it's so convenient and it's so cute.
Yeah.
For, you know, just to have your own. And ladies, let me say this. Always have your own. Whatever you like, have your own. If you having sex, have your own condom. If you smoke, have your own weed. Have whatever you want on your own. And
well, if you putting it out there for them to have their own, when they go out on a date, have their own money. That's what.
But ain't nothing wrong
I'm
with
just
that.
saying.
Man,
Had their own.
you go home alone a lot, don't you?
I do. Since you know, you letting the ladies know to have their own, but carry on.
See, you know what?
Carry on.
Listen, ladies, he talked that. That ain't true. So
I know
listen,
it, because I don't mind taking the lady out on a nice
I
date.
know. I'm trying to hook you up with some of my friends now, but it's only one of you, and I can't hook you up with all of them. So they all gonna have to. We all going out with Lavish. About 8 of them gonna have to go out with you. So we got some more footage because we went through the whole entire process of everything. So we debunking all the myths. Jason allowed us to come in, and it's a family from the time we pulled up. Now let me just say this, and this is the sidebar. When we pulled up, immediately when our wheels touched the campus, it was people out there looking like, oh, okay, who are you? What's going on? I was like, hey, listen, my voice got real delicate. Hey, listen, I'm COCO, and they was like, oh, okay, yeah, we knew you was coming.
I don't know, man. Between that and a tow truck pulling up at a location.
Listen, so
you know, but this place, Jason, that you got, I want to call it the private facility because I don't know. That's not open to the public. That's no public is allowed there. No. Okay, so that's why I say the private facility.
But it is the way it is ran, and for us to be able to go on the inside and see that it's not some kind of spooky, nasty.
It doesn't look like the facilities that we see on the news after someone drove through the front door.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like that.
Yeah, it don't look
like that.
But if you drive anything through the front door of anything, how good is that gonna look?
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, listen.
From what I remember when they would drive a store through my dad's liquor store, I used to be like, damn.
Now, from what I done seen in person, the aftermath, and just seeing what was in there, I'm like, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't know what it's supposed to look like, looks like.
Right.
And then when you see something, with way more money invested, it kind of make you look at something less than a little different. Like,
Lavish,
wow.
I want to tell you, nobody has what we have, whether they have money or not. That is one of a kind facility.
I like that.
So it don't matter what you have. It's our imagination built that.
That need to be on a T-shirt. I like.
So I just want to explain. There's company. I didn't have as much money as my competitors. Some of these guys have 30, 40 million put up, 50 million, 100 million. There's a couple of companies that already have 200 million investment. Their facilities don't look like mine.
Mm.
They don't push as many boxes as we push.
Y'all pushing weight.
The thing is and it doesn't matter how much money you have. It's who you are. It's the
Right.
work we put in. We put some time in. Every time we drop a product, it becomes top 3 in its category instantly because of who we are. So what you've seen, not everybody gets to see that or gets to work in that or be a part of that. That's why everybody's wants to be there. It's something special. The people who come and work for me, the education they gain on a daily basis. I work on the assembly line with my team. So does my partner.
Okay.
So that when they see us, they see people building it from the ground. And they get to understand that ain't nobody like, I'll work right next to you for 8 hours on my feet. It don't matter.
Right.
So the not anybody has what we have. We offer everything.
Okay.
At not only do we offer it, the way we offer it, the way it gets delivered to you is at the highest efficiency and efficacy that you could do to put into that cannabis. You guys seen?
Right. And that's the thing. People don't mind giving you their best in the workplace when they know that you love them, you respect them, you care about them, and you don't have a problem getting right next to them and doing the same thing. So it makes you want to do your best when you're appreciated. I think that's a lot of people that are in businesses, they don't understand that if you don't instill or you dealing with people that have some type of, I feel passionate about this. I don't feel like I'm coming to work. I feel like I'm being a part of something that is benefiting everybody that's involved. Even with restaurants, sometimes you go in a restaurant and it's such a disconnect between management and staff and stuff like that because they don't feel like they're a part of the process. But when you feel like you're a part of the process and you are a part of the process and it's something that you enjoy and all that stuff, you work different. I'm just gonna say that you totally work different.
A happy environment, a good workplace environment.
That's the word. You got some more footage. I feel you over there. What you got?
We got and you say you from Detroit.
Well,
That's
I'm
what
from
you say.
Farmington Hills. I was born in Detroit. If you want to be technical, I was born in Royal Oak Hospital. Okay? But I actually lived on Danbury when I was born in the 80s, 82. We lived on, 7 Mile.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You from the hood, 7 Mile of Woodward over in that area.
7 Mile of Woodward. So,
John R. Woodward, yeah.
Right. So you got a product, and we're going to talk about the donuts.
Yeah.
I'm going to play this clip right here. And then I guess with your Detroit ties from being in that neighborhood, you can explain it.
2 blocks away, man.
All right. So I'm about to go ahead and play this other clip for you guys. Go ahead and check this out really, really quick.
Here's where we do our custom hand-rolled donuts right here. These are a new product that we're going to be launching in-house. We've been smoking them forever. That's all I smoke personally is donuts. But we're calling these Dutch girls. So, because they're all called donuts. So we took that Detroit's, Dutch girl donuts on 7 Mile. So we kind of wanted to give homage to that. So we're calling them Dutch girls. And we'll have a cute little cool thing, but show them what a finished one looks like, Irv. We put a hash hole in it. That's hash. That's some of the best hash that we make in-house.
Yeah. So
The hash hole.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the hash hole. Then let's talk about the donuts and the name and why it was important to call it Dutch girls and all that kind of stuff. So hash, I'm not a smoker. What is hash?
So the form of hash that is called solventless rosin, and it's a process of extracting the cannabinoids from the plant. We do it at the stages where right when you cut it, when it's still wet, we freeze it. And when you freeze it after 24, 36 hours when it's frozen, we then go and wash it off completely with another machine. I think you did a clip of it maybe. I don't know if you got it. You can show them later. And it washes it all off. And then it's like a 3-4 part process.
Okay.
And then it gets it to that point where it's just you could smoke it with vape pens, which that's what we gave you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So you could smoke it with vape pens. You could smoke it with through rigs, form of rigs.
Okay.
And then you could also ingest it through lotions and through edibles and maybe, pretty much anything. We can make it from there. We could take it to make anything.
Okay. So it's interesting that you could take a plant and make it into anything that you want to make this plant into, and it still has that organic foundation or that organic. I guess like with anything, you take greens or you take spinach or whatever, and you can make them into whatever you want, but it's still that organic base to them. And that's another element that people need to understand, because people's like, oh, it's been sprayed, it's been treated. No, it still maintains that organic foundation or whatever. So I will have to offer this disclaimer. Before you try or do anything, make sure you talk to your physician. And Jason, as a sidebar, I remember one of my girlfriends, rest in peace to her, she passed from breast cancer. But I remember she had a really, really bad, she couldn't eat. She didn't have appetite from all the medication. And she got a brownie. And she called me. She was like, so how am I supposed to feel when I do this? I said, well, I don't know. But I'm going to come over and we'll see, And she ate the brownie, and it made her just enough of it, and it helped to stimulate her appetite, because she had absolutely no appetite from all the chemo and radiation. And then the pain medication wasn't working for her pain. So the edible had a dual purpose. It helped her with her pain, and it helped her with her appetite. So to that, like I said, you have all the stuff.
The reason why that she had that helped her is because that system that we're born with, the endocannabinoid system.
Okay.
In every state that marijuana gets legal, pharmaceuticals end up losing. I read it the other day. I think it was close to 30%.
Wow.
This is, I think, after long-term 10 years. So I think Washington, Oregon, Colorado had the study. It has a strong adverse effect because, let's say you're a person who's using heroin or pills or taking heavy, that's a big thing now, or lean. A lot of these guys take lean to feel a certain way. They basically are not even alert, right? You could have a safe cannabis delivery that if that's the way you want to feel, we can make you feel like that.
Okay.
Not saying that that's what we want to do.
Right, absolutely.
But what's safer? That cannabis is not killing anybody.
Yeah.
The lean does. You get seizures, you get heart attacks.
All of that.
You die very young.
Yeah.
Right?
All of that. All of that.
Cannabis can be created into anything you want it. It could be weaponized. It could be used as a medicine. We have to all be responsible users. And we have to be responsible users. So as long as we're responsible users, alcohol was a medicine before it was, recreationally used. Yeah. So we just have to understand if we take it as a medicine, it could be used as a medicine. It could also be abused. It can make you lazy. It can make you just, comatose if you want.
And anything could be anything, no matter what it is. Over the counter, under the counter, whatever, anything could be misused. So, that's the part. So, Jason, I gotta ask you about, because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the infused berry melon full spectrum. So let me just tell y'all about my knowledge about edibles, right? The knowledge about edibles is, when you do them, you have to allow them to get into your system. And they come with, activation within 60 minutes. So if you take one and in 45 minutes you don't feel the effects, don't double it up, people. Don't do that. Because now you in a situation where you sitting still and you kind of like, you're not moving. So as we look at, because I'm looking at the Banned Cannabis Edible Company, and I get it. It's the THC infused berry melon full spectrum. And Yeah, it's exactly what it is. So it does what it does. It do what it do. Everything has to be done in a certain amount of moderation, and all of that. That's just how the system is set up. So Jason allowed us to come in. Now, first of all, let me back up. You listen to Lavish and COCO's podcast. So we right here, right there. We can come to you. You could come to us. It depends on what the situation is. We want y'all to like it and share it. I know y'all hearing a lot of stuff going on. So here's the thing. I'm the only woman in the room with four men, and they scrambling around like the Three Stooges.
We got it. So listen, check this out, because we didn't talk about the inside of the dispensary.
We did not.
So I want to go ahead and play this clip for the dispensary, so he can talk about the public location where people that want to buy the products, where they can come, people that's interested, and here's that clip.
Gotta come right.
So over here we got our edibles that we carry, and the edibles over here, here's our brands of edibles, but we also carry a bunch of other brands. We try to give the consumer everything. We don't make it just about us, what we own. We try to support the whole industry as a whole as much as we could. And here, I'll take you and show you some flower. Our goal is, whatever you could afford, we want to make sure you have the best in class flower for what you're going to pay for. So one of the things, if you read our reviews as a company, you'll always read, we have the best flower, we have the best flower, we have the best flower. Things are changing. They're changing fast in marijuana, but there's a lot of opportunity, growth opportunity. Creative people can come in, create brands. There's so much you can get from here, from lotions to flower to edibles, things that really help you medicinally and non-medicinal,
So we went to the dispensary on 8 Mile, and it ain't no seedy deep dive. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Soon as you pull up, you like, yep. No, really, because I want to totally demystify and take all of that off of where you going, right? It is very, very female friendly. Of course they have security, gated parking when you come into the parking or whatever. Very clean, very immaculate. The bud tenders are very conscientious, great conversation. If you're not sure about certain things, they're very knowledgeable in what they're selling. So it's not like you walk in and you don't know what you want and you looking and you can't figure it out or whatever. They are there. You get greeted with, hello, how you doing? Can we help you? Those things are very, very important. And like I said, I want to demystify the whole, marijuana is the gateway drug. Well, we figured that out, that it ain't the gateway drug. Listen, you could go straight to whatever you think you want to do. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the positive side of the pre-roll and the ointments and the creams and the salves and the edibles and all that stuff like that, and being in an environment where you feel safe and it is clean or whatever. So before we came and did our tour there, Jason, you all had did a anniversary event. Let's talk about that anniversary event, because baby, listen, it was, the news outlets picked it up, and it was a line down the street.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just your average line down the street. This line was, because you all are located
350, 400 people.
At least.
Yeah.
And it never stopped.
Yeah, we do that every once in a while.
Wow.
We got a little following.
No, that wasn't a little following. You got people that love you. And I know you being very humble because God has truly, truly blessed you. But those people were committed. And you say the people were there from what time?
Like
in the morning?
4 in the morning. The one we did before, they started sleeping there at midnight.
Wow. It was like a sneaker release, standing at the Secretary of State.
Yes,
it was one of them type of lines from what I seen.
And then he fed them. So, you had the food trucks, and you had Mediterranean food, and you had the people with the
Cinnabon.
So you have all the stuff, and it's truly a business.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're actually thinking about getting our own food truck now too, because
baby,
have the food truck out. The one, the shop, but one it has it all. It's, what you call it?
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop. Yeah.
They're gonna have to have lawn chair. Are you gonna wait? So if you did have a food truck, would it be food or would it be infused food?
No infused.
Oh, okay.
I actually am allergic. I can't take cannabis that way.
Really?
I could only take it through smoking or lotions. I can't ingest it. Yeah, it's too strong for my liver. I can't handle it.
Really?
It doesn't. Not everybody can handle certain delivery forms of it. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's why you should always take little small doses to start because it might have an adverse effect on you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Overall, it doesn't do that to everybody.
Yeah, but I know somebody that had a whole entire episode and they thought they was dead. I actually do a joke about it and I made it myself, but yeah, they was sitting at their kitchen table from 5:30 p.m. to around midnight.
Yeah.
And they were sitting there and their mouth was dry and yeah, because they had, they took a brownie and they put ice cream on it, put it in the microwave and they
Oh, that's even worse because now you're activating the cannabinoids in a different way.
Didn't nobody tell my friend that.
See, it could affect you in certain ways, and I think a lot of us before, not anymore. Now everything is. That's why you should always go to the dispensaries that are licensed, because the truth is you want to know what's in your product. So like my products here give you every ingredient in them. There's a lot of people who are allergic to things. There's, cleanliness is a factor. How you approach, when you look at our facilities, everybody's masked up, gloved up,
Right.
Lab coats.
we treat
Maybe
it
they
like
had on lab coats. You hear me?
Yeah, we have to.
Look like some microbiology type
Yeah.
of stuff going on in there.
Because you're eating our product, so you're ingesting our product. Is that guy on my head?
Yeah, that guy all up on you. I was looking.
We want to make sure that when you receive our product, that you're going to be confident that you're getting delivered the best quality, cleanest form of product that you should ingest.
And you know what? That makes a lot of sense because you are ingesting it, you consuming it, and it does need to be. And listen, people, for real. Like I won't say I got OCD. As I've gotten older, like I figured out that I don't have to make my bed up no more when I get out of it because I'm gonna get back in it the same way. I know, like, ooh, Coco don't say that, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But when you think about cleanliness, like, kitchen, bathroom, certain rooms got to be clean. When you walk into your facility, when you go into your campus, it doesn't even have a heavy marijuana smell.
So that's while you just said something about that smell, I want to read one of the comments that we got. It says, can you ask whether or not they have some sort of protection to keep or reduce the smell within the environment? The smell from these facilities often makes me ill whenever I'm in the area. Thanks.
You can't even smell it inside my facilities, so it doesn't even linger outside. We use HEPA filters, and we have ionizers in the air that are continuously cleaning the air, and our air is cleaner and smells better inside that building than it does outside, because it's healthier to inhale our air, because we want to provide the best sanitary environment, period, because we don't want to have any type of molds or anything grow.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why, even with the smell, and that stuff keeps the smell down, all the HEPA filters that we have running through our place.
And for real, like, I ain't smell nothing. Like when it's the area why we were right there on the plants, but it was not that stinchy smell. The dispensary, if you didn't know that you were in a dispensary, it didn't have a smell. But when we talk about the marijuana industry, when we drive by cigar places that they smoke cigars, you can smell the cigars. When you drive by certain restaurants, you smell the food cooking. When you drive by certain areas of the city where they have slaughterhouses and they have meat and they sell that, you smell the product. And it's not a stinchy smell, but you do smell it. In this instance, once I was inside. I was like, oh, okay. And that was one of the things I talked about, like, oh, okay, the smell, I get it. And I understand that, but it wasn't none of that. None of the things that you may think that go on, it was not none of that going on. Okay, so Lavish, I'm going to say, because you've never drank or smoked, your experience.
I socially drunk COCO.
What's socially? Grape juice?
Here and there.
Okay.
When I go out of town.
Okay.
A shot here every couple years.
Okay. So, but
I don't smoke though.
Your experience, and Jason gave us gift boxes, right? And I called my folks that I know partakers, and I said, hey, listen, guess where I went? They was like, for real? Listen, and don't nobody really come to my house. Let me just say that. Baby, it was people at my house like, what you got? I said, listen. But I even, like, one of my friends was like, this is nice. I said, what? The packaging and all that. Then she called me later on and was like, baby, listen, I'm good.
You know how we got the name Band?
How?
I'll tell you a funny story. We came out, look at that name on the wall. It says Candy. So Candy Cannabis Co. That was going to be our edible brand.
Oh, okay.
And the state is spelled Candy.
Right.
And they came down right when we launched our first 150,000 packs to the market. 3 days later, they came down and said, we're trying to cater to children.
What?
We got to take down the product. And my partner was like, okay, why? And they said, well, it's called Candy. So we tried to justify that we're not, and they didn't care. So he said, can I call the company Sweeties? And they sent him an email back saying, nope, that name is also banned. Wow. And then he sent them an email back saying, call my company Banned then. And
if that's what he
said, is that name banned? And they said, nope. And that's our name.
So
that's how it went. That's the story behind that.
That's how you take a bad situation and flip it into a good situation.
And no, we had to destroy all the packs. So that was like, they were shooting at us, It's different in the legal market than it's just like,
they gotta go.
Yeah, they wanted us to go. So,
wow.
Okay.
But that was the story behind
that. Was it. Well, this is what we're going to do because we're running short on time.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead. We're going to end this podcast. We're going to thank everybody for tuning in and watching Lavish and COCO. But also, we got some behind-the-scene footage that I'm going to upload on the website. Well, should I say on YouTube?
Absolutely.
You can check it out, Lavish T. Williams on YouTube. And that's going to be a 5-6 minute video behind the scenes of the dispensary and also the secret location.
The secret location. We can't divulge that.
Yeah.
And one more time, Jason, where is your provisioning center located in the city of Detroit?
13815 West 8 Mile Road, 8 Mile Leisure. Right there.
Okay.
So in Detroit,
LaSure.
It's LaSure.
Yeah.
It's LaSure. Not Leisure, it's LaSure.
Well, listen, when you go in there, you're going to feel like when you come out and go home, you're going to feel like some leisure. You're going to be like, I ain't washing.
No, it's a very nice place.
Amazing,
nice and clean for, smoke. I mean, I don't know. Like I say, this was the first dispensary that I was in.
No, but listen, even if you ain't never been in a dispensary, that joint is clean.
Yeah.
Notice I said that joint was clean. But it's immaculate. It's clean and everything. From start to finish, it was an amazing process. Jason, I want to thank you for allowing us to come into a sacred space. Come into your
top
portal.
secret, behind the scenes,
no
real. Public access type of stuff. And we were able to.
That's major though.
I know it.
Grown.
I know it.
Like I'm finna cuss. I ain't cussed all show. Shit.
I don't think
I feel grown.
I want to thank you guys for allowing us to showcase our company.
Thank
I appreciate
you.
it.
You are very welcome. I was very honored. And I ain't gonna get emotional. I'm at that age where everything make me emotional. But thank you, Jason, for everything that you do, the education and everything that you're doing in the community, because it is very necessary that we, like you told me before, and I took everything that you told me to heart, and I'm gonna put it together. Me and Lavish gonna sit down and cuss each other out and put that together. But we thank you. Thank y'all for listening to Lavish and COCO. Listen.
Hold on, one more question. I hate to do it, but I want to get it in to acknowledge someone on here that asks, do you need a medical card or just an ID?
You need a medical card.
You need a medical card.
Unfortunately.
Okay. That's for anything being purchased.
Yes.
Okay.
But you could get O'Canna brand products at pretty much every recreational dispensary in Michigan.
Okay, so for recreational,
Yeah, we're in,
marijuana card is needed.
You can find us at Puffs. You could find us at Mind Right. You could find us at Bazanzo's, Greenhouse, HOD. You could provide Jars. You could Joyology, Nirvana. Pretty much everywhere. Herb. You could find us everywhere. I don't want to leave anybody out.
Okay.
But wherever they can find you at is medical card purchase.
No.
Oh no.
You could,
Outside of Detroit, only in Detroit.
Oh, only in only in Detroit you need a card. Outside of Detroit you don't.
yeah.
Okay, got you.
You need some real ID.
Okay.
Though. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
you need ID. So I hope that answers your question. Now, what were you gonna say before we close out?
I was gonna say thank you to Jason and his entire family at the compound, at the campus, and all that stuff like that. Thank you. Make sure you like us, Lavish and COCO. Make sure you follow us, Lavish and COCO. We have some amazing things that are going on, and I say that with a lot of love and a lot of passion because Detroit, I love you, but I'm getting a little older, and I got a birthday coming up in about 90-something days, so I'm really pulling in birthday sponsors. So if you get an email from me, then know that you're grown because I'm turning 60 and I need to do a wang dang doodle birthday.
Well, the only thing I'm trying to say at the birthday party, if you don't have a birthday party, you gotta drop it like it's hot. You gotta drop it like it's hot. You gotta break it down.
No, you don't want me to put this microwave on.
I want to see it. I want to see your knees touch your elbows.
Listen. Okay, put everybody out the room. I'll show you this one time. And if I do show it to you, when y'all see them tow trucks, that Lavish gonna be spray painted out, and it's gonna be COCO T. And today the T stands for what, Lavish? Too damn much.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna check y'all out, and I hope you check us out next Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Pay attention, watch us. You can follow us on all social media platforms. I'm at Lavish T Williams. You got COCO on Facebook, Ginger Hudson.
Yeah.
You got COCO on Instagram, COCO the Comic. Do you got any other platforms out there?
I'm also on LinkedIn and Twitter as COCO the Comic. I ain't been on Snapchat since they ran that scam during the pandemic, the Susu scam, where you give them $500 and you get $50,000 by the end of the month. Did anybody ever get that money? But we're going to talk about that later on. Listen, be safe, be amazing, walk in your greatness, and listen, learn to love yourself amazingly, and you can love everybody else amazingly. Peace.